Wouldn't it be great if you had a checklist on your road to success? Well, I'm here to help. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, and we inspire. And last time we got together, we were reviewing a tremendously great article by a gentleman named Ayudeji Awosika called 25 Ways to Dramatically Increase Your Chances of Reaching Your Goals. Bite-sized lessons to help you reach major milestones. And he starts the article by saying, how many times have you tried to set a goal and failed? You can't even count. The number is that high. Last time we got together, we went over the first half of the 25, and today we're going to go over the remainder so that you can have a little bit of a checklist to see, how am I doing? Let me check off these boxes and make sure that I'm on the right road to get the success that I desire and I deserve. So let's continue right now. Next one we want to talk about is focus all of your efforts on the tipping point. Keep your head down and work on your goal until you reach a point where your efforts start to compound, meaning you get more payoff for the same amount of work. We've talked about that. It's a matter of keeping your head down, keeping your nose to the grindstone, and you get a little bit, and sometimes you don't see the progress, and then all of a sudden, excuse me, it all comes together, and boom, there's an explosion, and you see a tremendous amount of progress. That's the way things work. So if you keep your mental faculties focused on your particular outcome and your physical awareness to move forward continuously, and you have the faith that you're going to get the job done, that's the way it works. So keep your focus on the tipping point. Does that make sense? Next one, master your strengths, then hedge your weaknesses. You want to set goals where you're focusing on your natural talents and your strengths. Everyone has different strengths. As an example, being a technical person or being an artistic person, this is not who I am per se. All right, my focus is on the ideas, on moving forward, on concepts. So I focus on that. I leave the artistic and technical stuff to other people. My main person is a lady named Amber who does that for me with this particular channel. So I let her focus on the things that she's really good at, and I focus on the things that I like to think that I'm pretty good at. And after you master those, then you can go and take a look and trying to hedge some of your weaknesses, some of your weak spots. But it's much better to find someone to help fill in what you need to have done. Align your goals with positive outlooks. As an example, you don't want to say, boy, I want to get out of debt. I want to be rich. That's what you want to say. And you want to be specific. You want to be specific. You want to do things that you enjoy doing. As an example, the example that the author gives is he doesn't reach his fitness goals by eating dry chicken breasts and vegetables daily. He didn't even try that. Don't torture yourself to reach your goals. It doesn't tend to work. Use things that you enjoy doing to help you get where you need to be, where you want to be. Get help. Find a mentor. Find a workout partner. Find a trainer. Find someone that's going to give you accountability to help you to reach your goals. These are critical things. And when you keep score and you measure how you're going, where you've been, and you can see progress being made, that is the magic elixir that drives you to the finish line. Don't choose dumb and arbitrary goals. As an example, don't set a goal like, I want to make $1 million or get rich. What you want to do is you want to set your goals for what the money will do for you. See yourself living the lifestyle. See yourself with the partner that you dream about. See yourself doing the things that are going to help society, and focus on those. And when you do, and when you're successful, then the money becomes a byproduct. People too often focus on statistics and say, I want to improve this particular statistic, and they lose sight of the fact of what they're there for in the first place. If you are there to help the community, as an example, then don't focus on a statistic that people measure to say, like, well, have you done this, have you done that? Focus on, am I helping the community? And when you're helping the community, the statistics will come. It's really that simple. Don't become a self-help robot. You know, what happens is people start to watch videos like this and read books and articles and so on and so forth, and all they do is just continuously read and look at it, but they don't do anything. You've got to take steps. So as an example, when you go to, let's say, a seminar, and it's exciting, I mean, people are there, and like a Tony Robbins seminar, and you go and the room is just full of excitement, and you're getting all this great information. Before you leave, before you get home, on your way home, be doing at least one thing that you learned in that seminar and get your body moving. Don't just be somebody that goes from article to article, from video to video, from seminar to seminar, because those people are just, they're learning but they're not doing anything. You've got to take action. You've got to take steps. That's the first and most important thing. Without action, there is no advancements. So you use these rules that we go over here. You're checking off boxes. Use these rules, to help you to achieve, but don't kill yourself if you have a little mistake here or there. It's kind of like going on a diet. Everybody goes on a diet everybody once in a while. They'll have an extra piece of cake or something like that. Don't let that be the end of your world. You've got to remember that the focus, the big focus has got to be right at the beginning, where you have this discipline, and get that focus going right at the beginning. And then as you build up momentum, then there's room for a little meandering. But in the beginning, discipline is the key. You've got to keep your focus. That's essential thing. So, and understand that changes are not going to happen overnight. There's a different gestation period. As an example, it takes 9 months for a human to have a child. All right, well, don't ask to see the baby at the end of 5 months, because either you're not going to like what you see, or it's not going to be there, one or the other. My point is, understand that there's going to be an unknown time period. Especially if you're getting, your help, your inspiration, you're partnering with the infinite mind. The infinite mind works on its own time schedule. So just keep going forward, keep your focus, and recognize that the gestation period varies, especially if you're doing an unknown. You know how long it's going to take to have a baby, but you don't know how long it's going to take to reach your particular goal. When you're doing this, use time blocks. Set aside a certain time period every single day. Just the same way as with a little kid, with a child, you want to have a routine. Why? Because a routine gets people in a comfortable mode. They're able to pick up where they left off a lot easier. The same thing will work with you when you want to become that achiever. So set aside some disciplined time, block out some time to get the task done that you want to get done every single day. Set aside that same time. For me, as an example, every morning, quiet thinking time. I have a certain amount of time. I'll be sitting in my chair, my special chair, my eyes closed, going over expressing gratitude, going over the thoughts of my mind, expanding, accepting transmissions from the infinite mind, and putting things together, planning my day. You set aside that time every single day. That's one thing. And then your work schedule, same thing. Set aside some time for that. Give yourself some reminders of what it takes. And use two kind of different examples. You know, when you're looking at people, look at people that have reached the heights that you want to reach in the field that you want to reach, or as close peripherally as you possibly can to that particular endeavor, and admire them, and that will help you to visualize where you want to be and recognize their greatness. And then also take a look at people that you don't think have as much talent as you do that have also reached their heights, and that will keep you grounded to the point where you're going to say to yourself, you know, my situation, because everyone says, oh, well, you know, he was able to do that because of this, he had this advantage, that advantage, and then you see other people that were able to achieve the heights that you want to reach that aren't even have the advantages that you have, and you say to yourself, wow, they did it, I can do it, I'm going to keep going with it. Understand the rule, the 80-20 rule. 20% of your results are going to, 20% of your activity is going to produce 80% of your results. And the first 20%, once you get started, is what gives you the momentum for the remaining 80%. You know, there's a period where you have to keep your nose to the grindstone, and that first 20% will get you to the starting line. That's the most important thing. Get to the starting line. Get some activity. You run into a roadblock, get a new starting line. It's that first 20% that gets you to the starting line that enables you to move along the race course closer and closer to the finish line. But that first 20% is essential. That is the key element, getting to your starting line. Another thing that's going to help you is, and we've talked about all of these things in the past, but this particular article kind of sums up a lot of the, like I say, helps you to check off the boxes. Stop and review your life and say, all right, if I were to die tomorrow, how close would I be to the person that I envisioned myself to be? What goals did I want to achieve? How have I achieved them? What progress have I made? Write your own obituary. Take a look and say to yourself, you know, this is the life that, the legacy that I want to leave for my children. This is the life, the way I want to be remembered. This is what I want written on my tombstone. And take a look and say, is that where I want to be? Because life, my friends, is short, especially now during a pandemic. Life can be very, very short. So examine where you are. The unexamined life is not worth living. Make your life worth living. Examine, make judgments, and inspire yourself to become that person that you want to be. By the same token, you also want to take a look at people that you don't want to be. All right, the author calls that using inversion. And you know, I've come across that so many times. There are people at the workplace, you know, they're petty about this and so on and so forth. And you say to yourself, let's say a culture develops there, and somebody once said to me, you know, why don't you do that? Because he would have done that. And I looked at him and I said, yeah. But A, I don't want to be him, and B, it's not the right thing to do. Don't do things just because the culture leads you in that direction. At some point you got to stop and you got to say, you know what, that's wrong. I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to be him. I don't want to be her. I need to be me, and I want to do things the right way. And people that step up and do that are the ones that become leaders, are the ones that become admired. And The last one I want to go over with you is stop being a wuss. I'm sorry, there's no other way to say it. Stop being a wuss. Stop finding excuses and say, well, I can't do this because of that, or I don't have the advantages that he or she has, or stop it. You can't be that way. You must assume the responsibility for your own success, and the only way to do that is to stop being a wuss out there. Stop being soft. And you're surrounded by it, so it's real easy to conform to the way people are wussies out there. Stop it. Be tough, be strong, have mental and physical toughness. So I've given you, and the author has given you, a big shout out once again to the author, and let me give you his name again because it's difficult for me to say it, Ayudeji Awosika. Big shout out, tremendously good checklist of things that you want to examine to help you to get on the road to success. So review this video and the previous one that we made before, and you have 25 different boxes to check off and see how you're doing. Once again, this is a good time to become that guy from Star Trek, Mr. Chekhov. And because we will never end a meeting on a philosophical note, why don't you get out there and take charge? I'm Eli's dad.